Hello, everyone. This is Crystal here with your April 14th, 2020 daily tarot reading. This is an energy reading to see what the overall vibe of the day is. So, we're going to go ahead and get started. And we're going to focus first on what is our best course of action for the day. Ooh, this card wanted to pop out. All right, we have the Page of Cups with the Sun card. Okay, so it's a bit of a mixture. What do we need to avoid on a day like this? What should we avoid on a day like this? All right. And also what we can look forward to. All right. So let's get right into the cards. I'm trying to avoid, look forward to. Okay, I got it. So I'm going to start with avoid so I don't forget. Well, we have the Four of Coins upright. And the Four of Coins is the energy of holding on to things for dear life, holding on to the relationship, holding on to the job, holding on to the personality type you've always had. It doesn't want to change, all right? So it's advice when we see this card is to change, is to let go, breathe a little, stop holding on so tightly to the relationship or whatever it is, whether that's a work relationship or whatever this is. This in this life, you'll notice most spiritual schools, religions, they all have this story of sacrifice, of letting go. All right, not staying too attached to the earthly things. All right, and I get why they say that, because we think about times in our lives where we've held on too tightly to a relationship that was falling apart, or we've penny pinched because we didn't feel like we would have enough. And with this card, you definitely don't want to go on a financial splurge, but it is saying that in order to have more, you have to make room for it. If you are keeping things all the same and not loosening up and leaving room for spirit, God, your ancestors, your higher self to bring a new opportunity in, why are you expecting something new to come in? You have to make room for the new. So the Four of Coins in reverse, or the Four of Coins upright in the avoid position, is saying we need to definitely not try to hold on to things that are outdated and not for us. It's like, it makes me think of when we get too consumed in something, when we get too consumed and intertwined and connected. It's a beautiful thing. You know, I don't have anything against partnership, but I find how many times do we lose ourselves when we get too caught up in that work title, or when we get too caught up in only that relationship. We forget what we even like. And I think that's why in our focal position, we have these expressive energies of the Page of Cups, the music writer, and the person who feels, the expressive child who is vulnerable. That is, at some point, we were all this person, you know? And when we were a child, we didn't care. Children are expressive. They say what needs to be said. And I do think that for those of you who are parents, I do think there will be a pivotal moment with your children on a day like this, to where maybe you have that conversation that really just showed you something that you never noticed. Or if this is just a personal message to you, the sun is bright. It's vitality. It's who you are. It's the ego. And yes, anything overdone becomes a mess. Just like we have all seen a Leo who can't stop talking about themselves, or who just thinks that they are just everything. And we all are everything. It's kind of like when we're like, oh, my child is so special. Everybody thinks their child is special. And, you know, and they are to a certain extent, but you know what I mean? It's like, everybody feels that way. So you might be, I don't know. But I think the confidence is amazing. And honoring that unique energy within your child is still the right thing to do. Yes, we know on a broader scale, everyone feels that way, but it doesn't discredit that you shouldn't feel that way about your child, or maybe you shouldn't feel that way about yourself. But we know when anything is overdone, it's just distasteful. It just becomes, ugh, I know we've all had conversations with someone who we can't have a conversation with because they're so busy talking about them. I remember when I was first getting started and just, doing YouTube research, they would always say, the worst thing you can do is get on camera and think that people care about you. And I was like, dang, that is harsh. But it makes sense. It kind of like, I don't know. I think it rubs you the wrong way a bit when a person just keeps going on about themselves and using their own. It's okay to use personal experience as an example, but when you find yourself doing that all the time, always, I don't know, I guess talking about yourself too much, you'll find that people really don't find you genuine, because people feel like you're genuine when you're open to hearing what they have to say and you know how to converse. I say a little bit, you say a little bit. What do you feel? What do I feel? And that's the negative side of it, because this energy is very childish, so it can go over the top, okay? But ultimately, what I love about the Leo energy is the confidence, is the self-identity. Ego is not always bad. You need to know who you are. One of the worst things is to not know what your hobby is or what it is that you find entertaining. Sometimes when we notice that when we get too intertwined in work or too intertwined in our relationships, and when we break up, oh gosh, we don't even remember who we are, because we forgot about to honor ourselves. And that's why I love the confidence of the sun, the confidence of the Leo. It's all about loyalty to self and expression. So today would be an amazing day if, like, you're in theater or writing or making music or listening to music, or if you have singing bowls. Like, man, that musical, beautiful energy is just popping today. Finding who you are and honoring that person. Sometimes you have to, we spend so much time looking at other people, admiring them, and we forget to honor ourselves. Confidence is a great thing. It's just when people become overly cocky, when it becomes distasteful. But yeah, like they were saying, when you first get started with YouTube, they're like, people don't care about you. Just make the video on whatever you're making the video about and stop talking about you. It turns people off. And it does. People really don't want to know about you until you've what? Leo energy inspired them or have done something to pull them in. But you can't pull a person in if you don't express what it is that you have within, and find a way of finding that healthy balance of being transparent, but not being just over the top, all about yourself. Okay. So kind of got to watch that today. But I love, 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 love that the sun energy is here, because it's giving us self-identity. It's saying today is a day about you. All right. It's not about getting in a new relationship or buying a new car with the Chariot in reverse. All right. So you can find a shift in something like the Chariot when it's upright. Once again, it's funny because you see that duality of light and dark with the Chariot, our light side, our dark side, and finding that balance in between and whatnot. And today it's not really about that. It's not about really honoring your dark side or looking at the polarity between the two. It's more so about honoring what you have done, what is good, what you tried your best on, and maybe everything didn't go how you wanted to do. But look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love you. You've done a great job. Love on yourself. Do you know how hard that is sometimes? Some people it's great. Some people look in the mirror and they're like, mwah, I love you, mwah, kissing yourself and stuff because you're so sexy or whatnot. But most of us really struggle with that. It's like, it's weird, but that's weird that it's weird. You should love yourself. And so you're going to have to do that today. Maybe you'll have conversations if you're at home with your children about loving yourself and self-respect with Leo and honoring that part in you. Because if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Okay. And what we can expect with the Chariot in reverse, you might have a hard time getting going today, especially if you go that other route that we said to avoid. This can show delays in traffic, so definitely get a head start. But if you start the day off with music, a cup of coffee, something that gets you fired up, maybe a motivational speaker or something like that, man, you can have a great day. All right. Towards the end of the day, I do think it's going to slow down for a lot of us. So you might want to do everything that you need to get done, even cooking dinner a bit early. Try to do it around maybe like 4 p.m., before then. not real late in the night. Okay. So I hope this helped a little bit, and I hope that you have an amazing day. If you need a reading with me, you can always email me at crystalneat@gmail.com, and I will talk to you tomorrow.